Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Angel's Rest Blessing for July. And we're all happy to have you here today. And as usual, we're going to discuss the topic of the day, which is anger. I made some notes. What do you do when anger flares following the loss of your animal companion or your precious fur baby? That moment when the initial shock gives way to the fire of an all-consuming rage at what has just transpired. Where do you turn? More oftentimes than not, we turn inward. We ask ourselves, did I do everything possible? What did I miss? Why did I not see this coming? The list goes on, and no matter the reason, the shock will sometimes create a lot of confusion, and it'll throw us into a tailspin of real human emotion following loss. It's human nature to look at all the ways we may have failed. We then look at those who may have failed us. It's perfectly normal to scan the environment for a target of our anger. And in our disbelief, our world has just crumbled before our very eyes. I would like us to take a moment to suspend a long-held belief that there are stages of grief, only because stages suggest a linear pattern, and grief is anything but linear. You'll go in and out of feelings of shock and disbelief, and ask yourself over and again, what do I do next? How do I find a way to make peace within myself and work towards acceptance? Now, let me be clear. Acceptance, it doesn't mean that you're okay with what happened or how it happened. Acceptance is basically acknowledging the reality that it did indeed happen. In this state of all-consuming grief, it's a time for us to calm our minds best we can, to begin to label some of these emotions we're having. After all, the mind works very hard to try and make sense of most events. And tragedy is a call for even more intensive processing and a drive towards clarity when everything just feels like gobbledygook. One area I often point towards is an act of sorting and ask myself what was and what was not in my control. This is not a fix per se, but a starting point and a reminder that we can calm our mind for a moment. We can diffuse some of that anger and build a bridge of kindness for ourselves. And we walk ourselves towards some peace in our hearts. Exploring the very real human emotions we experience following the death of a loved one is the greatest call for grace, and it's a call that many times will get lost in that storm of emotions. No one can take your pain away. If there were such a job, people would be lined up around the block for this experience. And for the person taking the pain away, why, they would have the biggest source of job security in the world. Unfortunately, we have to go through it and arrive somewhere in the land of peace over time and processing. We never get over our losses. We learn to live with them. And more importantly, I want you to remember that you are whole. You may currently feel fractured, but you're not broken. Anger is one of many emotions you will experience, and although it may feel all-consuming at times, it will never feel bigger than the love you felt than when they were with you. And I promise, from the bottom of my heart, the warmth and memory of that love will prevail.
My name is James. I'm a caretaker here at Angel's Rest, and we want to start today by sharing the names of the animals that we lost in July here at the sanctuary. Starting with Cat World, we lost Chibi and Haiku. From Wild Friends, there was Frost and Johnny. From Parrot Garden, Miter and Alfie, and Blackbeard and Barnacle Boy. From Bunny House, Discovery and Hope. And from Piggy Paradise, we lost Fifi. To remember the names of the animals that were sent in to us by Best Friends employees and members, to start with Bluey, Sunny, Sadie, Phelan, Roxy, Sam, JJ, and Eleanor.
Hello, I'm Byron. I'm one of the caretakers here at Angel's Rest, and I'm going to read a story that was sent in about Buttons. We had to say goodbye to Buttons. He was 1 month shy of his 18th birthday. Buttons was our first baby. Aaron and I got him when we were just babies ourselves, just 18 years old. I still remember finding him as a 4-week-old kitten, telling Aaron that we were now cat parents. Aaron had no say in the matter, and it should have been a warning sign that there would be many, many cats to come. I knew instantly he was meant to be ours, and it was going to be my whole heart. It was love at first sight, and boy was I right. Buttons was truly the best and yet worst behaved cat ever. He tolerated me dressing him up, all my photo shoots over the years, and giving him way too many bear hugs. But let me tell you, this guy was a pain in my butt. He was the definition of sass, grump, and trouble. Buttons had a side eye that could kill, and he spent most of his days judging your life choices, and never gave up his pursuit of trying to eat plastic. This kid was obsessed. The day before he passed, he tried to eat the drawstring on a trash bag. He never gave up his love for plastic. I love all my cats, but Buttons was my heart cat. He watched Aaron and I grow up and saw almost every phase of our lives, from getting our first apartment, to graduating college, to getting married and having a baby, and don't forget the countless numbers of new brothers and sisters. This kid saw it all and never left our side. Now that he's gone, it feels like a literal piece of my heart is missing. I don't think I'll ever love another cat the way I loved him. We miss you so much already, Buttons. It's only been 12 hours. Say hi to Mommy Kitten, to Jasmine, and Sarabi for us. And now we'd like to take a moment to give a moment of silence to all the beautiful, beautiful animals and companions and friends that we've lost.
Oh, Buttons. It's always the sassy ones that burrow deep inside our hearts. I love how he managed and gave way to commentary on everyone's life choices. Isn't that what this is all about? You have a living, breathing soul inside your home that you interact with. Your lives become entwined. It's not just about feeding and cleaning and watering. It's all the moments you share together that make that bond so special. So in closing today, I would like to do a poem for you, which I always like to wrap up with a poem from my dear friend Mary Oliver, who's also probably here amongst the chimes. She was a deep, deep loving soul of animals. And this poem, it really spoke to me because it talks about how we learn to survive and thrive amidst all of the challenges we face in life. And it's called The Swimming Lesson by Mary Oliver. Feeling the icy kick, the endless waves reaching around my life, I moved my arms and coughed, and in the end saw the land. Somebody, I suppose, remembering the medieval maxim, had tossed me in, had wanted me to learn to swim. Not knowing that none of us who ever came back from that long, lonely fall and frenzied rising ever learned anything at all about swimming, but only how to put out one by one our dreams and pity, love and grace, how to survive in any place. Thank you, Mary. It's a good one. So today, I would also like to extend our thoughts and this blessing to those who continue to be impacted by the wildfires, floods, and the devastation they bring. As you may know, Best Friends has been deeply involved in animal life-saving efforts in Los Angeles and Texas most recently. And it's through our work with our very well-established network partners that we're able to help with moving animals out of harm's way. This allows local shelters and municipalities to focus on their life-saving efforts. And we appreciate all of your support as we are all in this together. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I wish you a fabulous August, and don't forget to say rabbit, rabbit, rabbit as you enter into that new month. It's my new favorite thing to do. We need to bring in all the good luck we can, right? Love you guys. See you next month.